a lot of tears, luckily tears of joy. Now, the gentleman behind the video, the man, the dream, Sabbas Joseph, everybody, director of Wizcraft World. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. That was inspirational, In Search of Royalty. Welcome, sir. Thank you.
It all depends whether you're feeling global, and then you can feel which part of the world you want to be in and decide what time of the day it is. Or you can just be local, and then that's good enough. I'm delighted to be here at the World Tourism Congress, representing the Event and Entertainment Management Association of India, which is the national body that determines policy, direction, and coordination and investments that the event management fraternity makes across the world on behalf of the Indian event industry. Joining me today at this August gathering are three very dear friends of mine and colleagues from the industry, pioneers and entrepreneurs in their own right, and also leaders of the direction that the event industry in India is taking shape. Mr. Rajiv Jain from Rashi Entertainment, Vijay Arora from Touchwood Entertainment, and Jaideep Mehta from True Events, all members of the Event and Entertainment Management Association like myself. We come from a world where happiness is something that we believe in. Happiness truly is something that we talk about and dream about. You can have multiple opportunities to celebrate the birth of a child, the first day to school, the first birthday, the fifth birthday, the becoming of a teenager, and the growing to be an adult. But nothing is more special than that of a wedding. And most of us have the opportunity of being married only once. And for others, they don't really celebrate the multiple times over. Marriages in many ways are done by wedding planners, because marriages are made in heaven, but they are planned here on earth. And everyone believes that they know how to do a wedding better than the other. So everyone's an event planner. Everyone's a wedding planner, from the bride to the groom, to the previous bride, the parents, the person who does decoration, the hotel owner and the hotel banquet manager, and also the priest. Each of them believes that they know how to do a wedding better than the other. So when you design a wedding, you're competing with everybody, including yourself. The celebrations and festivities, in many ways, have been constantly changing to reflect the times that we live in, the times that we work in, and it's a reflection of the times, what people care about, and the times and the decorations and the entertainment that people really relate to. These I've just put together into some trends that you can look at, not so much of a soothsayer, but looking at what is happening in this awesome industry. Before I start, I'll just give you a sense of that scale of the Indian wedding industry. It's not as big as what you'd like to normally believe, but the Indian wedding industry comes from a country which has over 30 states. And each of our states has their own languages and multiple languages in each of the states of India. Each of these are host to multiple communities, each having their own culture, own trends, own thinking, own traditions, and own cuisine, own music, everything else. Each is a nationality in itself. So India itself is a mix of multiple nationalities. I heard the term mosaic earlier, and this is the perfect mosaic, not just of Europe, but really a melting pot for the world. That's what India really represents. We have over 30 states, We have about 33,000 gods, the various statues that you see. These 33,000 gods give you a sense of how much religion is followed and believed in India. And the wedding industry for India is about a $2.8 billion business, with about 10% of that money being spent on destination weddings at foreign locations. That really is the opportunity today, and it's growing every year by a 1 or 2% almost every year. So it's really a business that's really growing. It has a huge opportunity, and it is something that we can all work on and benefit from. We are in the business of happiness. And the first kiss, the first marriage, the first celebrations of a wedding are something that we live with. Weddings earlier were for 14 days. They came down to 7 days. Now, with destination weddings, wedding celebrations in Indian families are now held over 3 and 5 days. Largely because they keep the crowd smaller, keep it focused. So breakfast, lunch, dinner are all planned around various traditions, various celebrations that need to be followed leading up to the wedding and the reception and the farewell to the bride. Weddings tend to be more exclusive, and the celebrations party comprises few persons as possible if it is a destination wedding. Fewer the better is the new norm. While looking for destination weddings and looking at weddings, we in India are always in search of the new. What was done today is yesterday. We're looking at what has not been done, not just yesterday, but for a long period of time, so that every time our guests come together, it's a new celebration, it's a new experience that they are treated to. In search of the new, we're constantly looking at what's new. And whilst looking at what's new, we find ourselves in the old. Palaces, temples, temple cities, different cultures of the past, different civilizations of the past are what we recreate at our wedding celebrations. Decorations, is something that we harp on a lot in India. No longer do our weddings rest on decor. Decor is strictly part of the experience. And the experience is holistic. It is the creation of an environment in which guests can party, celebrate, and really have fun. Celebrations held at a destination capture the environs as part of the experience. The most exotic locales, places with history and decorative settings are the chosen venues for weddings. Increasingly, event technology is being used at weddings. Event technology, be it like LEDs behind me, holograms, 3D mapping, imaging technology, they're being seen at wedding celebrations. And the first time you see some of these technologies is at a wedding celebration because it's part of the search for the new. Event technology is making its way to the center stage of wedding celebrations. We've seen lighting, flow graphics, we've seen ceiling projections. It's no longer just about fireworks displays, it's really about experiences. Weddings are being designed for a few families to enjoy at the location and the rest to envy, because what really happens at a wedding is seen on social media. And that 140 character definition, hashtag neighbors envy, couples pride, is what a wedding celebration is becoming more and more. Performances are made to order today. You have curators like in an award ceremony or an entertainment event now designing everything that goes into a wedding to create that holistic experience. Entertainment curators, entertainment show directors are the new norm. Local artists are being enlisted to create a more holistic experience. Local artists from the destination of the venue that we're using. So if you're in Turkey, you'd have more Turkish artists part of the celebrations that are being held here in Antalya. International artists are becoming the high points and the distinguishing elements. Film stars, major film stars from Bollywood, pop stars like Jennifer Lopez, Shakira, that you would have seen in the video, have been performing at weddings in India, weddings at destinations, to be able to create the factor, to be able to create the novelty factor, and definitely in search of the new. Decor is out, as I said earlier. Experiences are in. Exclusivity is in. Personalization, being very specific, is really the need of the hour. And understanding your guests who are coming in, how would they like to travel, the cuisine, the kind of culture, the entertainment, what side of the bed do they get down from? These are important elements that wedding planners get into when really doing guest management. Arrival, check-in, baggage handling are given. They're easy. It's the real tough part, the granular stuff is what Indian wedding planners really focus on. Unique is awesome. That's an exchange of ring ceremony that you're seeing on the screen at an Indian wedding. The exotic arrival of the bridal couple is expected. The more exotic and unique, the better. The world's the stage. The world is a destination. Yesterday, India's wedding planners were happy to be designing weddings in India. We've got multiple states, 31 states. You can imagine the kind of settings, cultural backdrops that are available already in India. In just the last 1 year, Indian wedding planners have used 33 countries for destination weddings. 33 countries just in 1 year. You have, at each of those countries, when a wedding party goes out there, they might spend anything from 15 million to 20 million. But the guests that they're bringing in are of an equally rich stature, wealthy, economically well-defined. And this set of guests, go and spend on further travel, further tourism opportunities, further sightseeing, and further retail therapy. All of which adds in another $10 to $15 million spent in the local tourist economy. So the wedding tourism is no longer just hosting weddings, it's really a business by itself. It's a wedding tourism economy, it's an event tourism economy that we are now beginning to see emerge across Indian weddings. The world's the stage. Destinations weddings will last for a long time to come. What's interesting is what happens when a destination wedding comes into town. The rules of a hotel, the rules at an airport, we request that they be wished away. So an Indian wedding arrives with the Maharaj who cooks food for the entire set of guests. Meal over meal are cooked by Indian chefs because Indians, wherever they go, besides wanting to acquaint themselves with the local culture and the local fare, rely on Indian meals, and there are traditions involved in the cooking. So how they are cooked, what temperature, what the ingredients are, extremely important. So hoteliers who are here in this room, it's something to be noted that we look at our chefs coming in to be able to cook the meals. And there are several rules that we'll request you to look past in order to accommodate this wedding and business opportunity. In many ways, the 33 countries that we've been to have all accepted those rules, the new rules. It's some ways the power of the wedding dollar. Every year, more than 1,000 weddings are hosted at foreign destinations. What do we see emerging? We see an emerging collaborative working force emerging across the world. This collaborative working force has been in the form of Preston Bailey, has been in the form of CAA, Cirque du Soleil, philharmonic orchestras from different parts of the world. One of those working forces has been what the Indian wedding industry has been able to carve with inventive mice who have hosted us on this trip to the World Tourism Forum. There's an opportunity out there, an opportunity that is larger than what is currently being tapped. Global clientele, global social events, far beyond what the Indian wedding calendar dictates through the auspicious periods. We have auspicious periods in which weddings happen. So, whilst you have that as an opportunity, there are constant, from the same profile of guests, people traveling for birthdays, anniversary celebrations, etc., irrespective of the auspicious period. And that's an opportunity waiting to be tapped as destination celebrations. Partnerships, global investments, global alignments are what one can see on the horizon. Working together is really an art. Multiple agencies work together on a single wedding. Feel global, be local finds multiple forms. You'll see think global, be local. You'll see be global, think local. All of that comes into one paradigm, the paradigm of working together, understanding each other, and that really, in many ways, defines the future. While we chase our dreams and fulfill our ambitions, we in the events, tourism, and wedding business have a pioneering role and must fulfill that by being the change makers. We must be the evangelists, the people who see change coming, the ones that will go forward in search of tomorrow and set the path for others to follow. The bridal families will become our best ambassadors. They will bring you more business and opportunities. Where the bride and groom celebrate and the cleanup is done, when the bride and groom celebrate and the cleanup is done, make sure that you've got those precious pictures, photographs, videos, and memories. The word of mouth will spread. Most people are married only once. Let's make each experience memorable for everybody. Thank you very much.
Sabbas, Joseph, thank you so much on sharing us some of the minutiae, the level of detail, everybody, that the wedding planner has to go through. Now, Sabbas, you're going to join us and give us a little bit more detail.